Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we've got a project that we're going to start doing over the next little while. And I'm sure some of you are thinking, that's just a toy. Well, yeah, it kind of is. I was at Value Village last night and looking around, because I'm always checking for, RC toys, because you never know what is going to show up in there. And so I saw this thing for like 99 cents. I still got the price tag on it. And I thought, hey, that's pretty cool, a little hydro boat. And, yeah, it's a toy grade thing, and it's not even an RC, which is even cooler because now it's going to be turned into one. Just to give you a bit of an idea what's going to happen with this thing, because this is going to be a bit of a project, because I got a couple other projects that are going to be, kind of ahead of this thing and mixed in with this thing type of thing as I get money. But I'm going to put a ducted jet fan inside here. Very small one. I've been looking on the internet and I found some really small ducted fans, because this is not going to be something that's going to go like really fast, but it's going to have a bit of speed to it. I'm going to have to actually make my own rudder for the back end right in the middle, because I don't have a lot of room at the transom back here, so it's going to be kind of a little different setup for a rudder, but I'm going to have to build my own rudder from scratch. But the way this thing is going to be built in the end is everything's going to be sealed inside permanently, and including the battery, because once I get it all built and functional, I'm going to have to seal the entire hull up all around the bottom. I'm going to have to seal the tops up so no water gets in from here, and I got to do my best to keep water out of this area too, so I'm going to probably screen this area off in the front here. And I'm going to get a little man that can sit inside. There's actually some room under here, so I can, his legs will fit under. And once I get him mounted in, then that'll be actually sealed in as well. And so it's going to be like a little hydro boat that's going to be radio controlled in the end. But I thought about doing the ducted fan jet thing, only because I found them that they're small enough to go inside this thing and mount. And there's not a lot of modifications I really need to do, but I do have some sealing back here that's going to have to be done as well, keep water out, and because I'm getting into the hydro boat stuff as it is. I actually ordered in a couple of weeks ago a 3-point hydro, and that'll be here in probably another, I don't know, probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But I really like the idea behind hydros. They're really cool. And I saw this thing and I thought, that looks like it's got some potential. A friend of mine, Matt Event, he takes actually toy grade stuff like this, and he'll actually make it functional for RC. And so that was the inspiration I got, was from him on this sort of thing. And I thought, that's a perfect thing to start with. It's got a little bit of size to it. It's only about a foot long. It's going to float well as it is. And I'm going to have to keep the weight down, because it is pretty shallow. So I'm going to have to be really super picky on what I put in here, even for a battery. So I'm looking at the micro brushless ducted fan systems, because they're really super light and they can run off really low power. And so that's kind of what's going to be going on with this boat, just to give you an idea. When it is all permanently CO2, I'll also be able to recharge the battery from the outside of the hull, because I'm going to put the charge port somewhere, wherever I decide to put the battery, and I'll have the charge port coming out, and I'm going to have actually two. I was going to go with one, but I'm actually thinking it'd be better to go with 2 micro switches to cancel the power off to the ESC from the battery leads, only because you can't recharge a battery generally on a lot of RCs, especially hobby grade stuff. You can't have the battery plugged into the ESC, so you have to unplug it, then you can charge it, right? So that's the idea behind the 2 micro switches. I cut off the positive, I cut off the negative, and then this way I'm guaranteed no power can reach near the ESC, and then I can recharge the battery. So that's my idea behind that. And but I have to go with micro switches because of the weight issue and size constraints. I'm sure there's a bit of room inside here, but there's not a ton, so I gotta kind of watch that. So I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a pre-spoiler, I guess. you know, of what's going to happen with this, and it's going to be a long-term project. It's not going to be like, you know, 6 months down the road or anything, but you know, it's going to be as I get other projects done, and I'll work on this a little bit at a time, and you know, I'm going to do a little bit of work to this ahead of time before I even start ordering the parts, because I have to open up the back area in here for the ducted system, and also, you know, make sure about my remounting of it and so on, and keep going from there. So that's my little project, guys. Let me know what you think, and as we, you know, do stuff with this boat, I'll give you some update posts as we go along. So it's going to be some couple of different parts to the build, but I'm not going to make it like a gazillion parts. It's going to be a few small parts to give you an idea of what's going on, how things are going. I'll show you how things are mounted before I seal everything in, you know, that sort of thing. But and then this way, when we do the final run on it, we'll see how well it does in the water. You know, one thing that does actually concern me a little bit is the steep angle on the back here, and that fan is going to shoot it out, but I don't want it to put the boat like this. So I have to, you know, figure out, okay, what am I going to have to do to bring the wind so that it doesn't make the boat go like this. I got to keep it up on a, you know, on a good plane. So, you know, and it's not going to be fast either. That's the thing. It's not going to be like a rocket thing or anything, but it's going to have some good speed to it, I think. At least that's what I'm hoping for, and we'll be all right with that. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on future videos of this thing, and of course other videos as we go along. So have a great day, and catch you soon.